Hey guys, welcome back. It has been a little bit. This video is going to be all about the importance of timing and patience in your manifestation and how this actually works to your favor and can even bring things faster. So I'm going to get into it in just a second, but I just wanted to say that I hope everyone had an amazing New Year and holiday season. I know I did. I enjoyed a lot of time with family, but I also went through a lot of massive personal shifts, energetic, emotional, spiritual, everything. So that's why I took the break that I did. Just didn't plan it. It just kind of happened, and I listened to myself every day. And so I'm really excited to be back here talking to you guys about everything that I've learned, because I've learned so much. And so we're just going to get into one of the things, and we're just going to scratch the surface. But patience, it's a word I honestly haven't had a great relationship with. You could even still say that I'm an impatient person. So I've been doing a lot of reflecting on patience, and they say it's a virtue, but why have I had the relationship that I've had with it? I've always taken it as a very negative thing. So what I have discovered through my personal journey over these past several months, and I suppose my whole life, right? That patience, divine timing, trusting, all of this, it's one and the same, and it's really not about waiting, because when you go into the mindset of, okay, I'm going to have patience and I'm going to trust divine timing, I don't know if you're anything like me. Again, this is just my personal experience. I was like, oh, I'm waiting on divine timing. Like, if I am here on July 5th and divine timing is going to happen some unknown date to me in the future, I'm just waiting for the day to happen. But that's not what you're waiting on. What you're waiting on is you to get into alignment, and then whatever time it takes for your 3D to render as you stay in alignment. So this isn't something that is really easy for us to wrap our heads around, because I think of it like a processing thing. Like, oh, okay, well, it takes like 10 to 15 business days, right? I'm waiting on divine timing. But it's really not about that. Once you come into the timing of yourself, if that makes sense, follow the energy of this. Maybe the words won't make as much sense, but when you are coming into the time for you, does that make more sense? Like, there's a Trevor Hall song where he says, your time is such a wonderful thing. You're not running out. You're really running in. And I was like, wow, that really is a strong reminder to me that timing is not something, that time in general is not something that we are losing. We are always moving into time. We are moving through time. We're never losing it, right? But so you're probably like, I don't get this, because all I feel like is that I'm running out of time or that things aren't happening. I'll get there as to why we feel that way and how we can overcome that and heal that and shift into being able to practice patience. Because practicing patience, when you first start, it's really basically just you saying, I don't feel okay, but I'm going to act okay on the surface. And obviously not in an unhealthy way where like you're repressing everything, but knowing what's appropriate for you to put out into your world, and knowing what is just something that you have to sit in discomfort with until you can kind of show yourself like, no, look, this is worth it. This is going to pay off. That's my favorite thing to do, is when those like little voices of like, we're running out of time, or like it needs to happen now, I just say, shh, we're not going to argue about this. We're just going to sit and we're going to watch and we're going to see what happens together. So to me, I'm like looking at my notes. I wrote that patience is really coming back to yourself. So it's really nothing to do with time, or like, oh, I just have to be patient for the next week. I look at the watch that I have never worn. I just have to be patient for the next week or the next month or the next whatever. No, it's really about you coming back to yourself. So what does that mean, coming back to yourself? That means coming back to peace and comfort. Maybe not comfort, peace within you. The patience is less about being, I don't know if I'm gonna say this and we're gonna see how it goes. Patience is less about being okay with your current circumstances and more, no, it's, and more about, I'm just going to keep it going, and more about you being okay no matter what your circumstances are. So it's less about your specific circumstances, whatever the goal is that you're thinking of when you decided to watch this video, whatever's not happening yet for you. It is not about that one thing is what I mean. It is about no matter what, you're living in this state of wish fulfillment, right? So that is what patience is the true knowing, I think. These are my observations, but it's coming back to yourself and trust in yourself. That's why it's so important, because it's about you, and you are the biggest thing in your manifestation journey, because manifestation is, I'll say it in every video, it's about you healing yourself and then reaping the 3D rewards of that healing. So it's just like one big system to praise you and reward you for healing yourself. So that is why patience is so important. Coming back to yourself is so important, because it is about you and feeling comfortable in yourself. So any way that you can get back to like your self-concept and knowing that like no matter what it is, you're abundant, you're loved, you're supported, you're safe, you're taken care of, you have everything you need. You have everything you need, and it can be really difficult to sink into that feeling. It's almost like a trust fall. What I was going through over the break, I call it the break because it's like holiday break time. What I was going through over the holidays was, it felt like in the very first Harry Potter movie where they're trying to get into the like secret passage, I can't remember it now, to get the Sorcerer's Stone, and they're in those like tangled vines, and like Ron thinks that he's being strangled to death, and he is, because he won't just relax and sink into it. And it's like Hermione knows what this is, and she's like, oh, you just have to relax, and Harry trusts her, so he relaxes and he falls through too, and he's fine, right? But Ron just like can't trust, and so they have to save him, but divine intervention could be the symbol there. So it's all about trusting yourself and sinking into yourself. And I was using that analogy because it can be really scary, because coming back to knowing that you have everything you need and you don't need anything else, we can feel like when we don't need something, it means that we'll never have it. That when we lose the want out of desperation, it means that we won't ever want it or desire it or find a new relationship with it. So it can be really scary, especially when it comes to our relationships with those that we care about. I think it's a little bit easier to make peace with, maybe I won't get that car I want and I'll get this car instead. Or maybe it won't be that house, it'll be a different house. Or maybe it won't be that job, but it'll be a different job. But I think that when it comes to people in our lives, it can just be a little bit more difficult. And I think that this is because we just in general typically find most of our attachments and our wounds reflected in other people, right? That's like one of the easiest and most like high contrast ways to see what's going on with our internal state and just how we feel about ourselves. So people just, it's like a highly emotional situation. And to say that you need to be okay with things never reconciling between you and a beloved family member is like, it can be really painful, right? But it's not to say that you can't have that. And I should make a whole other video on practicing non-attachment as a form of manifesting relationships, because this process is hard. But to keep it short, you're not truly letting go of the ability to have a healthy relationship with that person. You are letting go of the wounded need to have something outside of you provide that healing for you. Does that make sense? You do the healing inside yourself. You heal the parts of you that are desperate for that validation through this person showing up in a specific way. You heal yourself first, and then that thing can come in. It's safe to come in and heal. I'm going to move on from that because I feel like I'm getting too deep down when I really wanted to talk about patience and trust. My cat was staring at the ceiling. There's nothing up there, I don't think. So one final example of patience and trust was, so I drove up to see my family for the holidays, which I love to do every year. And it's a long drive. It takes 12 to 13 hours, 12 if I'm lucky. And that can be, that's a lot, right? So I get in my car and it's like, I love doing it because I love seeing my parents and my sister, and I love music and podcasts, but it's still, the journey sucks, right? So the second I hit the road, I didn't think about the fact that my GPS said you have 12 hours and 25 minutes until you get to your destination, or that it started at 11 hours and it had jumped up to that. I didn't look at the timing as much. I just knew that I was in the car for as long as it took to get there, and I focused on what it was going to be like on the other side. So I didn't think about, I think I probably like a little bit, I was like, oh, what are we going to do for the holidays? And I envisioned that. But what I mostly focused on was just standing in the entryway of my parents' house, where I would come in with my bags and all of that, and just standing exactly where I would put things down. I didn't move. I wasn't saying hi to my parents. It wasn't any of that. I was just visualizing myself standing in their house. And when I focused on the energy of that feeling, it's so strange to explain this, but obviously I was consciously driving for 12 hours and I was present in the car and I experienced all of that. But at the same time, I didn't. And I was just there. And I feel like this really speaks to, when we're trying to manifest something and we're wondering about the timing of it. The more and more we focus, if I focused on, oh my God, I have 11 and a half hours left. And okay, this song is done. How much time do I have left? Oh my God, it's only been 3 minutes. Oh my God. Okay, I just finished this whole album and it's only been 45 minutes. How many more albums am I going to have to do? Oh my gosh, am I ever going to get there? What if my car breaks down? What if I get sick? I could focus on all these what ifs about what is taking forever. Or I could just sit and know that one way or another, I am getting to my parents' house. Thankfully, I had no issues with my car, but if my car broke down, you deal with these things. You figure these things out. You problem solve. Life happens. You handle things as they come. I'm still going to get to my parents' house if that's where I want to be at. I see myself there. I feel myself there. I'm going to get there. So I might as well just enjoy the ride. It's again, I was clearly focused on the road. I wasn't not paying attention or anything, but I just sat back and kind of enjoyed it, almost like I was on an airplane. And I think I had seen someone talk about this on TikTok, where they were talking about why are you doubting your manifestation? If you got on a plane that was going to Hawaii, you wouldn't be like, oh my God, what if we end up in California instead? Or what if I end up in Alaska? Or what if the plane never gets there? Obviously, realistically speaking, some people have those anxieties. And, stuff does happen where planes have to divert and emergency land in other places. But you get what I'm saying. If you have a trip where you're going to Hawaii and you got on the plane, you're going to get to Hawaii one way or another. You're not on the plane wondering if the plane's really taking you to Hawaii, hopefully. I would hate to have that mental anxiety. So I just really felt like I had a really beautiful example of that. Maybe not beautiful, but a really clear example of what that feels like. And what was really crazy was because of how much I just let go during that drive, and I just whatever, things are happening, and I was just tired, and I just got there and I unpacked and I just did whatever my family did until they were ready to feed me dinner, and then I went to bed, and then I woke up and I just had a leisurely morning, and I had all these manifestations come through because I was in this mindset of being so focused on me. I wasn't really talking to people that much, I wasn't engaging on people's messages. I saw another person on TikTok talking about how like when you're attracting things to you, being in a healthy way selfish with your energy, when you're just really focused on yourself, that's when things start to come through. You don't need to be perfectly in the spot to catch the manifestation as it comes through. Like, just let it come through, and then you're in the energetic alignment to engage with it. I don't know if that made sense. Like, you don't need to be waiting on it, because if it comes through and you're not like in that waiting energy, then you'll miss it. You don't need to be in waiting energy, right? Because you're not expecting anything. It's already there. There we go. I'm going to wrap this up because I can feel a tangent coming on. I haven't made a video in a while. I'm a little out of practice, but let me know what you thought about this in the comments. Yeah. What's up? What's up with you guys? How was your new year? How's manifestation going for you? Have you had little successes here and there? I'd love to hear it. I'm currently in the process of revamping my website. By the time you see this, it'll probably be all done, but it's ready now. I just made some tweaks to the services I was offering. I'm working on making things a little bit more accessible and flexible. If you guys have any feedback about what you'd like to see, I'm definitely not making any promises, but I'm totally open to hearing what kind of things you are interested in. But I'm really excited to focus on manifesting and doing intuitive readings in this new year. One of my personal goals is also to get back into my art. So yeah, happy full moon, everyone, if you're watching this video right after I put it out. This energy has been crazy. I hope that you're hanging in there. I'll probably make a video about the energetic shift that happened over the new year. That might be happening now for you. There's no like set time. It's more like a window of time that people start to feel things. But yeah, it's been like a really crazy rebirth process, and it was really intense. It was really intense, but really fascinating. So I'm probably going to make a video about that. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Drop a comment. Let me know what's up. I'll see you in the next video.